Okay, there we go. All right. So we're inside of the parentheses, aren't we? Inside of the parentheses. When you're inside the parentheses, that is horizontal. Horizontal shift. Which means you're going left or right. Someone's doing Khan Academy. Nice job. Left and right. So A and B, no, which ones? A and D are out. It's not D. It is not D. What? What do we have to do to the minus sign, guys? What happens with that minus? Yeah, we flip. We flip. We got to flip the sign.
Good morning, Delaware. Today is Monday, May 17th, 2021. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Today's schedule is on periods 1, 3, 5, and 7.
Uniform policy. It is mandatory for all students to be in uniform. Blue or khaki pants to the appropriate grade level polos. Grade 6 white polos, grade 7 blue polos, grade 8 red polos. Student IDs are also part of your uniform, so please remember to have your IDs visible around your neck. Hoodies and hats are not a part of your uniform. The uniform policy will be enforced.
CDC guidelines. Attention students, faculty, and staff. Please remember that it is mandatory for everyone to wear a mask at all times. Your mask should cover your nose, mouth, and chin. Again, please remember to wear your mask at all times.
Fourth, Major League of Baseball. The Miami Marlins played the Los Angeles Dodgers and defeated them 3-2. National Hockey League. The Florida Panthers played the Tampa Bay Lightning and were defeated 5-4. National Basketball League. The Miami Heat played the Detroit Pistons and defeated them 120-107.
FSA testing. Students, it is imperative that you check your email daily. You will be notified of your FSA testing date and time via email. If you do not know how to access your email, please seek help from one of your teachers. Teachers, please take the time to show students how to access their email. Thank you.
That is all for today's morning announcement. Have a Jaguar day.
Alrighty. So finally, we flip the sign. So we got to think opposite. If I'm subtracting 6, I'm going to the flip the sign to the right, to the right. So this is answer choice C, to the right. Now let's quickly do a little review of this because we have a few questions coming up about this topic. So transformations. This is what I want you guys to write down in your notebooks. Transformations. If you get a question on your test about transformations, this can be a very easy question to get right because there's no math. There's no math. You don't have to do any math at all. You just have to memorize and remember how it goes. So it goes like this. There's 3 possible transformations you can have. We have A. We have H. And we have K. So we just talked about H, right? H is our horizontal transformation, horizontal translation. So horizontal translation. Whatever number you see moves left or right. But what do you have to remember you have to do? For H specifically, what do you remember? Flip the sign, exactly, flip. Good, Raymond, good, exactly. So it's our horizontal translation. You got to remember to flip the sign. Okay, how about K? If H is vertical, what's K? I mean, if H is horizontal, oops, I just give it away. K is, what's that called? Up and down. What's the word for that? Vertical. Got it. This is my vertical translation. You have to change the sign? Nope. So up and down. If it's adding, it goes up. If it's subtracting, it's going down. That's all it is. So we have our vertical translation, we have our horizontal translation, and then what does A do? Think about what happens with our quadratic functions. Good, it can make it more narrow, it can make it wider, exactly. And then what's the other thing? The direction, good. All right, so let me write that down. So A can do, we can do vertical stretch. That's one. What does stretch do? Make it more narrow or make it wider? Good. Vertical stretch makes it more narrow. We have vertical compression. Okay, and then the last thing is the direction. So if it's positive, it goes up. If it's negative, it goes down. And A is probably the trickiest one, but we'll do a few examples to make sure that we understand. So go ahead and take, I'll give everybody another minute to write down the notes for transformations. Write it down. Okay, Shira just wrote it all out for us. So if it's less than 1, it's wide, right? So if it's a fraction, it's going to be wider. If it's a whole number greater than 1, it's going to be narrower. And if it's a negative number, it goes downward. What's up? Okay, I'll check it out for you. Stretch, S-T-R-E-T-C-H. All right, 30 more seconds if you're still writing. All right. And what we're going to do next is I'm going to test your knowledge. Let's see if we can get it done. Let's see if we can fix on the last question, it was 36% correct. 36 only. Let's see if we can make that 100%. Here we go. All right. Let's make it 100%. 100% correct. Go ahead. 1 more minute. Huh? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I already did. Oh, there we go. There you go. $30 seconds down, 30 seconds left. Make it 100%, y'all. You better get it right. Okay, 10 seconds left. Five, four, three, put it up. 2 and 1. I'm missing 6 people. Everybody has to vote. Everybody here voted? Everybody voted. Yes? Yes? Okay, I'm still missing 5 people. Let's go, guys. Everybody. Everybody, even if you don't know, put it in. 3, 2, 1. So we were trying, what was the number we were trying to beat? 30, what did I say? 30, 36? Oof. All right. We're up to 38. Not that much better though, is that? 2 points. 2 points is nothing. All right, so I gotta do more explaining, don't I? I gotta do more explaining. What? Okay, this was B. Let me copy and paste this. I think it always worries me when I make you write something down and then nobody asks me questions and then y'all get it wrong the next slide. I get used to asking questions. If you don't know what I mean, if you don't understand what you're writing down, how else are you going to find out unless you ask me questions? I don't expect everyone to know the answer right away, but if nobody asks me questions, then I'm going to assume that everybody knows what they're doing. So that's why I'm a little disappointed right now. But let's check it out. Anytime you have a question about a transformation, you have to notice where is the number located. On this example, it was located outside of the parentheses. So is that H or is that K? Is that H or is that K? It's K. It's negative. So is it going up or is it going down? So if it's going down, that's all you got to do. Did I do any math? Did I add? Did I subtract? Did I solve an equation? Did I tell you to switch the sign? You only flip the sign when it's inside the parentheses. You only switch the sign when it's inside the parentheses. When it's outside, you leave it as is. So positive is up, negative is down. On the other hand, when you're inside the parentheses, positive is which direction? Left, and positive and negative goes to the right. You gotta flip. No, positive goes to the left. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Negative goes to the negative goes to the. Okay, let's try this again. Inside the parentheses, negative goes to the. Everybody's got to answer. Negative goes to the, and positive goes to the left. Okay. So inside the parentheses is that's where you flip the sign, which is why in this example, notice where is the number? It's on the inside of the parentheses, right? So it goes to the right. That's why we chose answer choice C. So you have to pay attention to where the number is. If it's on the inside, that's horizontal and you got to flip. If it's on the outside, that's vertical. You leave it the way it is. That help? Okay. So let's do let me see. Let me find another one that's similar. Because the next one I have is a little more challenging. You guys ready for a challenge? Yeah? Let me find a good one. Hold on. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So let me read it first. If the original function is f of x equals 2x squared minus 1, is shifted to the left 3 units to make g of x which expression would represent g of x? So again, try not to overthinking. You're not supposed to be doing any math right now. This isn't about math. It's just about moving things around and putting them into the function. No math. Don't overthink it. Follow the rules. Here, I'll put them back for you so you can see them. Take another minute. Go ahead. So far, I'm at 100%. Still at 100%. Good job. Keep it up. Seven people have voted. Still at 100%. Good. If you're not sure, ask me a question. Mhm. Eight people have voted. Still at 100. That's half of you. Let's go. Let's finish it off. But I don't know if it was you or someone else. All right. Last 10 seconds. I need 100% participation. Everybody must vote. Everybody must vote. If you do not know the answer, make an educated guess. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Hey, that's a lot better. 83%. I'll take it. Well done. Well done. All right. So we're moving to the left. So if I'm moving to the left, inside or is it outside the parentheses? Inside. So it's not C, it's not D. And since we're moving to the left, what operation am I using? Plus or minus? Plus. It's the opposite of what you see. So it's B. Now, real quick, let's run through the other options. Let's say what they are. What would A be? That would be to the right. Good. Yes. What? Oh yeah. So minus goes to the right. Plus goes to the left. We did. Okay. Yes, good morning. I'm taking attendance right now.
Thank you.
No problem. Y'all gotta be on me for this attendance. I always forget. Yeah, I need someone to remind me every day. Who's not here? Jeffrey, where is he? Always late.
Sometimes we speak a lot.
Okay. All right. I think I got everyone's attendance. Cool. Anyways, let me try to clarify for you, Bianca. So we know that we're moving to the left 3 units. And since I'm moving to the left, what operation do I put into the parentheses? Plus. That's all you got to do. If it's going to move to the left is plus. To the right is minus.
Good morning, teachers and students. Teachers, at this time, please review the list of students who are testing today for 6th and 7th grade math and makeup. Please send them to their designated testing locations at this time. Thank you.
None of you. All right. C. What is going on in answer choice C? No. It went up by how much? And you can tell because it used to be -1, now it's +2, so it went up 3 units. And then D? Down 3 units. So it's not the number, it's not necessarily that it, because they tell you what's the original function. The original function is right here. So you got to look at the original one and see how much it changed by. Not from 0, but from the original function. Make sense? What do you mean? Yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah. All right. Any other questions on this one? Cool. Okay. Let's kick it up a notch. Okay, this one's a fill in the blank, so you can send me your answers in the chat. I'll read it out. The graph of the quadratic function p is shown on the grid. How do you know that this is quadratic? If they didn't tell you, it's a U. What do we call that more specifically? It's a parabola. Good. Nice job. All right. If h of x equals x squared and p of x equals h of x plus k, what is the value of k? So one more time, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it one more time. The graph of the quadratic function p is shown on the grid. So which function is here? Which one is this one? This is p. This is p of x. And then they say that h of x is x squared. Do we see h of x, girls? Do we see h of x on the grid? No, all we see is p of x. But we know that p of x is h of x plus k. P of x is on the grid, h of x is not. Now, what do we know about h of x? This is the what? This has a special name. They tell you. What do we know about h of x? H of x has a special name. X squared. So Jara, you say that it is natural, but there's another word for that. Neutral, I think that's what you meant. Yeah, it is neutral. Even more important, this is a very special function. Starts with a P. Good, Jara. This is the parent function. Can someone tell me what a parent function is? If I tell you this is the parent function, what does that actually mean? Yeah, but what does that mean? Okay, Ijara is saying it's the original, the OG, the original function. So if it's the original function, where do you guys think it's going to be on the graph? On the, not on the vertex, on the, you're getting at it. Not y equals 1, Ijara. You're thinking of exponential functions. This is quadratic. What do you guys think? If I'm like, oh, I'm the OG, where's my vertex going to be? I haven't moved anywhere. At the origin. At the origin. Yeah, the 0. The 0. So let me graph that real quick. Here's my parent function. How do I know that the parent function is quadratic? The parent function, the h of x. How do I know that it's quadratic? Because of the exponent. If the exponent is a 2, what type of function is it? What type of function? Quadratic. Good, Ishaya. Good. If the exponent is a 2, it's quadratic. If the exponent is a letter, what is it?
Oh, it's it.
Exponential. Good. That's the big difference. We got to know the difference. If it's a 2, it's quadratic. If it's any letter, it's exponential. So now let's put this all together. Here's my parent function, which is h of x. And then we have p of x below it. So now I want everybody to go ahead and answer the question, what would be the value of k? I'll zoom in a little bit. Send it to me in the chat. what would be the value of K? Send it to me privately in the chat. Privately. I'm not telling you that you're right. Remember that you should not be doing any really math right now. All right, 10 more seconds. Tell me, what is the value of K? And remember that the sign matters. The sign matters. Is it positive? Is it negative? Did I go up or did I go down? Okay, 10 seconds. Let me know your final answers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, the key to this is don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Remember, parent function is the OG. That's where you start. So I need all eyes. I need everyone looking at the problem. Let's go. If the parent function is original and the black one that's already on there is kind of like the new one, how do I go from the red one to the black one? Down how much? 6 units down. 6 units down. You got to count carefully because I saw a few people said 7. It's not 7, it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units down. Since it's going down, is it positive K or negative K? Negative, so it's negative 6. That's all you have to do. That's all. Start at the original and then count how many units it goes. Yes. Mhm. What happens if it was what? A letter. So if the parent function was exponential, you can't compare them to each other. So the only way to compare two functions is if they're both the same type of function. Because if you start with exponential and you change it to quadratic, then you can't really compare them anymore. Make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, so the parent function is at the 0, always. So let me actually write that down. So parent function. Let's just write down some facts about the parent function. Parent function, yep. For quadratic functions, this is the parent function. The two most important things is that the vertex is where? 0, 0, good. And is it facing up or down? What? The smiley face, so it's going up. It opens upward. Is it stretched, compressed, or neutral? Neutral, good. So those are the 3 key facts about the parent function. Go ahead and write those down. And sometimes they're going to tell you, sometimes they'll say the parent function, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes, did they actually say the words parent function anywhere here? No. So you had to realize that that was the parent function. But it's very easy to realize it because it's just x squared. There's not really a trick for memorizing it. This is something where if I'm telling you to write it down, you write it down. And when it's time to go study, you go study. Look back at what you wrote down. If you don't write it anywhere, then your chances of memorizing it are cut down by 50%. was upside down. So if it was facing down, then that would be negative x squared. Because it's negative. If it was negative, would it be the parent function anymore? All right, any other questions? These are good questions. Okay, let's try. Let's see. Okay, here's another one. This one's a little different. What type of function is this one? When I ask what type of function, you only have 3 possible answers. Good, is it linear, exponential, or quadratic? How do you tell? Because of the line, does it come back up like a U shape?
Yeah.
It does? Where? Okay, he says it's like a half smiley face. That's one way to think about it. Yeah. So this is exponential because, yeah, it goes up, 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 and it's not going to come back up on the other side. There's no U shape. If it was a U shape, what would it be?
Quadratic.
It would be quadratic. But in this case, it is not. All right, so it's exponential. Now let me read it. The coordinate plane below shows the graph of f of x after a transformation of f of x minus h is performed. Which statement about f of x minus h is true? So now this is an exponential function, so this is a little bit different. Before we were talking about quadratics. So one more time, for the parent function for quadratic, let me write that down. Oh, oops. This was quadratic. Okay, the vertex is at 0, 0, it opens upward and it's neutral. Now let's talk about the parent function for exponential before we can do this problem. You might not remember this one as much, but this one is f of x equals 2 to the power of x. It's kind of the opposite if you think about it. Because for quadratic, it's x to the power of 2. For exponential, it's 2 to the power of x. You guys see that? It kind of switches. So let's write down the key facts. I'm not telling you the answer yet, Guillermo. Don't stop trying me. Okay. Key facts. The y-intercept of the parent function. Does anyone remember where that is? Not 0, 0. Yeah, 0, 1. And then everything else is pretty much the same. It opens upward. And it's neutral. Okay, so if that's the parent function, and this function on the graph is transformation, it means it had to move somewhere from where the parent function is located. See if you can figure it out with that information. Go ahead and try it out 1 minute. So far, pretty good, pretty good. It's not 100, but it's close. Remember, there should be no math involved. No math. It's a matter of using your eyes. If you know where the parent function is and you can see where the new function is located, then how many units did it move and in which direction? Allison, there is no 100% right now, so whatever you choose, it's not going to ruin anything. Just choose what you think. So the parent function is nowhere to be seen, okay? It's nowhere to be seen. What we have right now is the new function. This one's the new one. So you got to figure out, what did I do to the original one to get to the new one? Huh?
I think I got it. I was in between two, but I think I realized.
I think you picked the correct one because it looks so far so good. All right, I'm still missing just 5 votes. So if you haven't voted it, go ahead and put it in. Sorry? Yeah. Only 100%? Yeah, just one time. Well, that's because they get trickier, right? These are a little harder now. All right, almost everyone's voted, so I'll give you guys 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Let me show y'all. So, share results. Good, not bad. 75%. That's really, really not bad. Because like I said, these questions get harder and harder. And if you were between A or C, that's good, because that means that you were able to get rid of the garbage answers. That's good. Now, if you chose C instead of A, let's explain why it's C.
Wait, see?
I mean, why it's A. I'm sorry. Let's explain why. So it is A. What did we say about the parent function? The parent function crosses the y-intercept at the 1. So I'm going to graph the parent function real quick. This is the parent. This is what it looks like. All right. Now, if that's the parent function, how did I get to the new function? By going up. And when I go up, 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 think about, let me go back to this slide. When I go up, that number is always going to be on the outside of the parentheses. Now, in this case, it's a little different because it's exponential. But either way, it's not going to go into the exponent. It's going to be outside of the exponent, because with exponential functions, the exponent would be your horizontal translation. So let me explain. Answer choice C. If you were to guess, what do you think this makes the graph do? No, not down. No, because we already said this one's up.
Right.
Left. Ijara got it first. This one goes to the left. So what do you think D does?
Left, right.
Wait, final answer. Right, good. That goes to the right. And then what does B do? That one goes down. All right, so each one is telling you a different kind of like, it's kind of like if, I don't know, you guys play video games, yeah?
Yeah.
You like video games? Yeah. So video games, there's a lot of different like like cheat codes and different, right? Okay, it's kind of like that. Like you just have to learn how to read it correctly. Once you know how to read it, it's very, very easy. But it's like you got to learn how to do the cheat codes before you use them. Kind of like that. So, any other questions on transformations? I have one more transformation problem for you guys. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one. I like this one. All right, last one. So this one is select all that apply. Do you guys want to try it on your own or do you guys want to do it together? Try it out. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you guys time to try it on your own, but I will be going over it. So the most important thing is that you try it. And if you don't know the answer, treat it like a test. What do you do on a test if you don't know the answer? Educated guess. That's exactly what I need you guys to do because that way I know what I need to explain. Okay, A, B, C, D, F. Okay, perfect. All right. Select all. So pick more than one. Go ahead. I'll give everyone 3 minutes. You guys want me to zoom in at all?
Maybe it's
Yeah.
not down.
Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit, guys. So the new function, I'll write it down, is f of x minus 3. I'll say this, most of the points of the new graph are easy. There might be one where it might be helpful to do math, maybe. I'll give everyone another minute. to try it out on your own. But remember that we will go, this one's tricky, so we'll go over it. All right, 15 more seconds. Yeah, Raymond can see into the future. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, y'all. Okay, so I'll show the results, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. D was pretty popular. E and B were pretty popular. And the rest, I mean, everybody, every answer choice was chosen at least one time. All right, so we definitely want to go over this one. All right, first of all, f of x is on the graph. G of x we have to figure out without seeing it. But we know that g of x is a transformation. What transformation is g of x? What is this? Where am I going? To the right. Good. This is to the right. Oh, maybe I can spell right. 3 units. Yep. So now I got to go to my graph and try to see, okay, what would happen if I moved it 3 units to the right? So if I did that, I'm going to just go to my x-intercepts real quickly because that's helpful and move those over 3 units. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's 2 of my points. Let me also move over my y-intercept to the right. 1, 2, 3. And then the vertex is kind of in the middle of everything, but I can eyeball it a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be somewhere over here. So I can kind of see where this graph is going to be. And obviously you guys can't really draw on your screen, so this is something that you would have to do visually. You got to see it with your eyes. You got to get real close, get all into that screen, guys. On the EOC, if you leave pencil marks on your computer screen, good. I don't care. If you got to write on it a little bit with your pencil, good. I don't care. That can be cleaned off later.
What if I crack it?
Don't crack, obviously don't crack the screen, but if you gotta zoom in really far and use your pencil to make little markings, I do not care. They can come at me and make me pay for it. I won't pay for it, but they can try, all right? So do what you need to do to be able, do what you need to do to be able to answer the question.
No way.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Jeffrey. All right, so we're here now. Let's see which of these answer choices we can already select. What's one? What's one answer choice that's definitely on the graph? E, good. 2, 0. F as well, yeah. 7, 0. Good. Anything else that I can definitely circle? Maybe 1, 6. Okay, so maybe 1, 6. Let's see. Let's check it out. 1, 6. Well, I can go to 1, what on my original graph, this point right here, -2, 6. If I move that point over 3 units to the right, where does it end up? Yeah, to the right, to the right. Yeah, it ends up at 1,6. So I got to fix my graph a little bit, right? If I move that over 1, 2, 3 units, it ends up at 1,6. So that one works. That one works. Okay. So those are definitely in, definitely. Which ones are definitely out? Good. A and B are definitely out. -5,6? No way. That's in the wrong place. -4,0? No way. That's in the completely different place. Okay, so this is where we are. Everybody with me so far? Any questions on that so far? Bianca, you haven't been watching. Huh?
I didn't realize alpha bridge.
You didn't realize D?
I chose BDE
Uh-huh.
and I didn't realize E was negative.
Oh, you thought that was positive. Or, yeah, well, either way, if it was positive, what is it? You can draw it on your, yes, I'm telling you, if you want to draw, uh-huh. Do you have to?
Yeah.
You don't have to. Yes. On the test as well, though. If you want to draw it on the test, do it. Yeah. Too bad. Why am I doing the blue one? Someone remind me. Why did I draw a blue graph? Yeah, because the original one is the one that was on there. Look, read it again. The function f of x is graphed on the coordinate plane. But do I care about f of x? No, what am I looking for? Of g of x. Is g of x on the graph? Well, now it is because I put it there, but it wasn't there to begin with. Okay, so that's why I drew it. Okay, so the last point we need to double check is 0, 14. Can we know for sure? No, that one's a little hard to see. So that's why I said one of these you might have to do a little bit of math. So we're gonna do a little bit of math, y'all. You ready? I want to see pencils writing. We're gonna write this all down. Okay. So we know that f of x has this equation. Do we know the equation of g of x? Do we know the equation of g of x? Do we? Does g of x have a full equation or just a transformation equation? It has a transformation equation, but not the full equation, right? So can I plug in 0 necessarily? Well, if I plug in 0, 0 minus 3, what do I get? 0 minus 3. Negative 3. So what this is telling me is that g of, or if I plug in a 0, I end up with negative 3. So now I have negative 3. Guess where I'm going to plug that? I'm going to plug that into, yeah, the original formula. So I'm not going to plug in a 0. I'm going to plug in a negative 3 because I'm trying to figure out what is 3 units to the left. It's kind of confusing. So let me explain one more time. I know that g of x is f of x minus 3. So if I want to plug in a 0 for g of x, I have to plug in a negative 3 for f of x. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in a negative 3. Here we go. Okay, I plugged it in. Now we just do our math. What's negative 3 squared? 9. Good. Negative 3 times negative 3. 9 again. 9 plus 9? 18. 18 minus 4? 14. which is exactly what I wanted. When I plug in a 0, I get 14. So that is true. So it was C, D, E, and F. Now, if you can do D, E, and F, if you can do it with your eyes, good. If there's one that you cannot see with your eyes, then that's how you know you're going to need a little bit of math. You can do it a few different ways, but the most important thing is that you can understand how to do these three. If I lost you at answer choice C, if I lost you at that one, you know what? At this point, that's fine. That's fine, because you do get partial credit on the EOC. You do get partial credit, so you don't have to get them all completely correct. If you get one wrong, that's fine. That's a little bit of a point decrease, but you do get partial credit. Sure, let me go over this one more time, what I did.
If I got one wrong, right, too late.
If you got one wrong out of 4, you get some points taken away, but not the whole question. You don't get the whole question off. Okay. All right. Let me show you one more time what I did. So I wanted to see what happens when I plug in a 0. If I get 14, that's good. If I get something else, then this answer choice is out. So I wanted to plug in a 0. Well, here's my equation for g of x. I plugged in a 0, and I got g of x equals f of 3, f of negative 3. Matter of fact, let me make this even more obvious. G of 0. I plugged in a 0 for g, and it's telling me that g of 0 is the same thing as f of negative 3. So if I plug a 0 for g of x, I'm plugging in a negative 3 for f of x. Well, I have an equation for f of x right here. All I did was I plugged in that negative 3. Plug in the negative 3, and I got 14, so that's how I know it's correct. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes, you plug the x into the new equation. It tells you what to plug into the old equation. So you plug that into the old equation, and you get your answer. Yep. That makes more sense. Let's do one more real quick so that we can really make sure we understand. I really want to make sure that we see how to do this. Let's say there was one more box, and it was -1, 20. Okay, can we see that? Can we see it on the graph? -1, 20? Is it in the box or out of the box? Out of the box, right? So what am I plugging into g of x? -1. I plug it in. -1 minus 3. What's -1 minus 3? Not, okay, so we got -4. Let me explain, Bianca. Now I know g of -1 equals f of -4. So what am I plugging into f of x? That's where I plug in my -4. So this is telling me to plug it in for f of x, which is the original equation. So now I plug in -4 into the original equation. -4 squared minus 3 times -4 minus 4. So now I do it all again. What's -4 to the power of 2? 16. What's -3 times -4? 16 plus 12? Or positive 28. 28 minus 4? 24. So would that point be in or out? It would be out because I wanted to get 20. I wanted 20, but I got 24 instead. So it's out. Now, if this comes up on the EOC, that would be very rare. I don't think that this is definitely, I don't know what's on the EOC, but we got to be prepared for the worst case scenario. So if you're aiming for a 4, if you're aiming for a 5 on the EOC, This is something that I want to make sure you understand how to do. It's like that. It's the same as the FSA. So 3 means you passed. 4 and 5 means you're advanced. Make sense? All right. Any other questions on this one now that we did it a few times? All right. So we're gonna move on. We'll have a few more questions for you guys. It's 10:21, so we have maybe time for like 4 more. Let's make things a little easier. Let's do an easier one. Little bit of a brain break, hopefully. Try this one out. We have an equation. What is f of -5? Go ahead. I'll give you guys a minute. Yeah, I see 4 people have voted. Remember, I want an answer from everybody, even if you're taking an educated guess. Take 30 more seconds. Here, Mo, don't overthink it. What do you do with the -5? Oh no. So far, the correct answer is winning. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Da-da-da. No, that's not that good. That's not that good. 38%. Can do better than that. What do I do with the -5? Plug it in. That's all we're doing. Plug it in. So f of x is 2 plus x squared. So f of -5 is 2 plus -5 squared. We're plugging in the -5. What's -5 to the power of 2? Positive or negative? Positive. What's 2 plus 25? 27. How did you get -27? You picked it by accident? Right, because -5 to the power of 2, that's -5 times -5. Yeah, a negative times a negative is a positive. You guys want another one? Want to prove yourselves a little more? Okay. Try this one. You can do it. You can do it. Don't complain. I wasn't going to make it that easy. Go ahead. Oh, there's no multiple choice, so just send me your answers. What the heck? Send me those answers. Send me it in the chat. 30 more seconds. Guillermo, check your math. No calculator. No, no, no. 10, 9, 8, sorry, Jara, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got it?
Sure.
There you go. All right, guys, fractions, fractions, fractions. You should not be afraid of them by now. How do I multiply a whole number by a fraction? Beautiful. You can, there's two ways. You can just multiply times the top, divide by the bottom. Simple. So 12 times 2, 24 divided by 3. That's it. 8 plus 3 is 11. So f of 12 equals 11. Now the other way to do it, the longer way, but it still works, goes like this. 2/3 times 12, but 12 is the same as 12 over 1, right? Okay, then you just multiply across. So 2 times 12, 3 times 1, and then you're doing 24 divided by 3. See how we did? It's the same process, just kind of broken down a little bit more. It takes the same amount of time, yeah. Why does it look so hard? Because the test is designed to make you freak out when you look at a question. But you have to remember, when you get a question and it looks hard, just remember the wise words of Miss Lopez. The wise words of Miss Lopez are, you can beat the test. You can beat the test. You can. As long as you don't let it get to your head. You can't get freaked out when you look at a new problem. Because that's how we let it beat us. Okay. Let's do, what time is it? 10:28. Y'all want an easy or a hard one? I mean, they're all hard, but do you want an easy hard or hard hard? Okay. I'll give you guys a medium one. Hold on, where is it? Okay. That's not hard. Just make sure you're doing it correctly. That's my one hint. Just make sure you're doing it correctly.
Please, let's get 100%. 100%. 100%.
So far, we're at 100% wrong. Y'all fell for it. I told you, make sure you're doing it correctly. Read it again. Read it carefully. What are you looking for? Oh, you're looking for X, huh? Interesting.
I swear to God.
If you pick the wrong answer, try it again and tell me what you got. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Nice. I'll give everyone 30 more seconds.
What?
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So this is one of those weird situations where the majority is wrong. It is not. It is not. We'll find out.
See you next time.
Let's find out. Let's find out right here, right now. Right here, right now. So if, listen, bring it back down so I can explain. I want to explain. Okay. How do you get D? What did you do? No. Bianca. How? Okay, so in order to get D, that would be if you plugged in 25. But is this telling you to plug in 25?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is why it's important to read. Let me go back for a moment. This question told you to plug it in because this is the input. But in this case, it's not asking me to put in the input, it's telling me to plug in the, which is not the input, it's the output, yeah. It's the output. It's asking me what is the input. I don't know what the input is. So instead of plugging in 25, I'm gonna make this whole thing equal to 25. So equal to 25. And now I have an equation, I have to solve it. So what do I do to both sides? Good. 25 minus 24 gives me 1. So 2/5 x equals 1. Now, I have a fraction. Let's review. We did this last week. If I have a fraction, what do I do to both sides? Multiply by what? Yeah. By 5, by the denominator. Multiply by 5. What's 1 times 5? 5. Now my 5 cancels out. I have 2x equals 5. Now what do I do to both sides? Divide by 2. X equals 5 over 2. It was C. It was C. Well, listen, she got it right. She got it right. Okay. So, okay. Pause. Any questions? So make sure you read carefully. Make sure you know if you have to plug in for X or if you have to make it equal to the output. There's 2 different ways to do it. How'd you do it? Okay, so let me actually write, let me explain because that's another way to do it. The way that Bianca did it was she took answer choice C and she plugged it in. If you plug in 5 over 2, what should you get? Okay, so let's see what happens. If I plug in 5 over 2, 2 over 5 times 5 over 2, What's 2 over 5? That's fractions straight across. 2 times 5? 5 times 2? What's 10 over 10? What's 1 plus 24? So that's another way to do it, is to plug in each answer choice and see which one gives you 25. Now the way that way might be longer because you might pick the wrong one, and then you have to do it 4 times, but you might get lucky and the first one you try works. All right, any questions on that strategy? Cool. All right. It is 10:36. Let's finish it off with
Okay. It was an easy one, this, so easy one.
You guys want an easy one? But you have to promise me that we're gonna get at least 80% correct.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Jeffrey, you said that you get her wrong. Right?
Let's try it. Go ahead. I'm telling you it's easy. So remember, if I'm telling you this is easy, that means don't overthink it. Go ahead. Okay, good. 2 answer choices, 2 answers, 3 answers, 4 answers are in, and we have 100%. Oh, we just lost it. But we're still doing pretty good. We're still above 80. Which one?
I'm JK, I put C, I put on less technically is 100%. I put C,
Technically.
I put C.
Because she doesn't count?
Man, I swear I put C, I swear I put C. I swear.
I can download the results. You want me to download it?
Yes. I'll put C.
Okay. All right. 9 people have voted. So far, we're doing really good. 10 people, good.
If I'm mistaken.
I'll give everyone else 15 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Y'all promised me 80%,
And we got you, baby.
and you got it. 92%
I
back.
see the ball. I swear I picked C. I was being trolling. I said I picked B. No one picked B. I swear I picked
Okay. All right. Good job, guys. Good job. So 40 is the input or output? 40. Output. So is it the X value or the Y value? Y value. So when I go to the Y value of 40, here we are. This is, yeah, 5, 40. So I know that he worked 5 hours to earn $40. Nice job, everybody. See, is it a good deal? That's $8 an hour.
1 hour and 10
That's $8 an hour. That's below minimum wage, my man. I don't know if I want that job. All right. So $40 an hour now. I would quit this job to go to that one. All right. I get paid like 25 an hour, something like that. Okay. Before taxes. That's a whole other thing. All right, everybody. As a big reminder, quiet. As a reminder, homework is due Friday at midnight. Please make sure you're working on it as well as, guys, please make sure that you're working on the homework as well as any old assignments. And if you're taking your science tomorrow, please keep an eye on your email, 8th graders. Please keep an eye on your email. as of right now, I do not know. I asked Miss Johnson, and I do not know yet if you have to be here at 9 in the morning or if you have to be here at 11 or 11:30. I don't know. But my 8th graders who are MSO, just keep an eye on that email. So, excuse me. I'm trying to talk. I have way too many students talking right now. Silence. Thank you. So like I said, keep an eye on your email. Keep an eye on Teams. And I'll post it on Teams as soon as I find out, okay? That way you know when you're supposed to be here. Yes, but MSO students, it might be hard for them to be time, like they might not get it in time. So keep an eye on internet, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a nice day, everybody.